Black Heritage Sunday 2023, honoring Black luminaries who are courageous. Ambassador Theodore Ted Britton, a gentleman and scholar. As a U.S. Marine in the 1940s, Theodore Ted Britton served 2 years, 4 months, and 6 days in the Pacific Theater of World War II. Born in 1925 in North Augusta, South Carolina, at the age of 10, he moved with his parents to New York. Britton was drafted into the U.S. Marine Corps in 1944 out of high school soon after the attack on Pearl Harbor. Although he was unaware at the time, Ted Britton was one of the first African Americans selected to join the U.S. Marine Corps. Although the Marines now accepted African Americans, they were to be trained in a segregated facility located at Montford Point, North Carolina, adjacent to Camp Lejeune. After his military service, Ambassador Britton followed world affairs while pursuing a degree in banking and finance at New York University. This was interrupted by military service during the Korean War. During his subsequent years in banking and the American Baptist Convention, his expanding interest took him to 19 countries in North America, Central America, Europe, and Africa. On the home front, he marched with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. while becoming a leader in managing socially oriented housing. Today, Ambassador Britton has visited over 175 countries as a global diplomat. He has received commendations from 4 U.S. presidents: President Richard Nixon, President Gerald Ford, President Ronald Reagan, and President Barack Obama presented the Congressional Gold Medal to Ambassador Ted Britton for his service to the nation and the United States Marine Corps. On February 6, 2023, Ambassador Britton was awarded the Order of the Palmetto in his childhood home state, South Carolina, which is the highest civilian honor the South Carolina Governor's Office can bestow. Ambassador Ted Britton continues to support and promote the U.S. Marine Corps and the Montford Point Marines after 79 years as a Marine. Amar Quick is the owner of Ocean Body Goods, an all-natural body care line that he started in the 8th grade after doing a school science project. He learned about the harmful ingredients in many body care and fragrance products and wanted to make an all-natural solution with better results. The name Ocean is the name of a Yoruba deity who represents beauty. This highlights the beauty of Black culture and the African diaspora, as well as honoring African ancestry. Amar is currently pursuing a finance degree at North Carolina A&T State University and hopes to continue Ocean Body Goods, as well as creating a wealth management and consulting firm in the future. Mrs. Odestine White Drake, a courageous educator. Straight out of Morris Brown College with a degree in elementary education, Ms. Odestine White joined the teaching staff at Leslie J. Still Elementary School in Decatur, Georgia. At the height of segregation in 1967, Ms. Odestine White integrated the school as the first Black second-grade teacher. She wanted a career in education. She was not looking to make history. During her job interview, she described her philosophy of education as to create a stimulating environment conducive to learning, to inspiring, and to motivating all students. Only one parent requested to transfer his son from her second-grade class in 1967. One of her inquisitive second graders was puzzled about her last name, Miss White. He asked her one day, "You're not white, so why is your name Miss White?" Miss White agreed and replied, "We all have names about the human race." She was selected twice as Teacher of the Year in 1979 and again 1993 while a teacher at Leslie J. Still Elementary School. She remembers another student in 7th grade, Winfred Derrick Moody, who would go on to graduate from Morehouse College and Medical College of Georgia. Dr. Winfred Moody submitted her name in 1994 for Who's Who among America's teachers who made a difference for the best teachers in America selected by the best students. She was an educator for 34 years at Leslie J. Still Elementary School. Ms. Odestein White Drake is still making a difference. Our EBC young authors continue to make history. From writing books that highlight the importance of diversity, to the importance of self-love and family, to addressing bullying and activism, and so much more. Our young authors are paving the way for other young leaders to make their mark in this world. We celebrate Jada Powell, Grant Geddes, Justin Blount, Amari Lattimore, Matthew Miller, Morgan Miller, Layla Still, Maxwell Clay, Salathiel Murphy, Taylor Hightower, Jackson Jeffrey, Sydney Jeffrey, Ashton Hightower, Addison Gordon, Olivia James, Jordan Morset, Lance Hammett, and Thomas Acock. To support our young authors, go to youngauthors.publishing.org. Camden McKinnon is 10 years old and has always had a love for theater, film, and all forms of art. Camden is currently on Broadway in New York City as Tom of Warwick in Camelot. He recently finished off Broadway as Travis Younger in A Raisin in the Sun. His upcoming featured film, Ranfield, will be released in theaters worldwide April 14, 2023. He has made appearances on the Starz Network and other networks. He has a rigorous school and work life, a strong faith that helps him to stay focused and adore family. Camden McKinnon has a junior black belt in Taekwondo and plays the viola. Deacon Emeritus Howard King and Mrs. Lily Pollard King, the courage to love. They celebrated 78 years of marriage on January 15, 2023. When God created their love story, He promised them a long life of family, love, faith, and marriage. Deacon Howard King is 97, and his lovely bride, Mrs. Lily Pollard King, is 94 years old. Deacon King served 2 years in the U.S. Navy before he asked his sweetheart to be his wife for a lifetime. They married in 1945, which is the same year Miss Lily Pollard graduated from high school. He was 19 years old, and his bride was 17. They both grew up in Pensacola, Florida. The Kings joined Ebenezer Baptist Church in 1966 during the height of the Civil Rights Movement and remain active in the life of Ebenezer until the recent COVID-19 pandemic. Ebenezer is only the second church of membership other than Mount Olive Baptist Church in Pensacola, Florida. Deacon Howard King was baptized in 1938. He was ordained as a deacon in 1952. The Kings have many special photos and memories on the wall throughout their home. A favorite photo is Deacon Howard King, Deacon Arthur Henderson, Reverend Dr. Otis Moss Jr., and Reverend Martin Luther King Sr. Reverend King Sr. was so different from me, what I had experienced in my lifetime, said Howard King. He was able to influence so many people to join him in his efforts for justice throughout the country. He influenced people who had never met him. I am one of them. Deacon Howard King's career spanned 40 years in government. In November 1959, he became the first Black personnel staffing specialist in the Civilian Personnel Office. As doors opened for Deacon Howard King, he made an impact for others, especially African Americans. Deacon Howard King is the author of a book, In Spite of the Odds, autobiography, The Life of Howard O. King Sr. He dedicates his book to his lovely wife for her tireless sacrifices. On March 25, 2007, the Marriage Enrichment Ministry recognized Deacon Howard King and Mrs. Lily King for their inspirational and enduring marriage. Their union symbolizes the significance of marriage in the African American community. When asked about the keys to a good marriage, the Kings agree: mutual respect, divine order by God, and great communication. We are thankful for the courage to be Black history. Ebenezer everywhere. Let us salute our 2023 Black luminaries and honorees.